Hello. Hi, Aley.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Jeff. I'm glad to have you here. Been a while.
Beautiful. It's
Been a
been
while
quite
since
a
we had some
while, it
fun.
seems.
Yeah. I know. I always try to get people cycled in and out and bring them back. And sometimes things get away from me. So all you have to do is nudge, nudge. And but I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you so
I'm
much.
always looking for attention, so you needn't worry about it.
All right. Well, you have my permission to nudge me if you want to do a show. That's first.
That's
All right. Let's say hello to a few folks. We have Seascape and Christine Fry are here. And we have,
Roxy
yes,
Roxy.
I'm glad you're all here. Yeah. Roxy. Yes, Christine, I understand about the storms, honey. Believe me, I understand all about internet problems. Charlie's here. It's nice to see you, Charlie. And we have Roxy and Ellen R. And Laura's here. And Leah's here. And Roxy's here. Oh, thank you, Roxy. And Mary. It's nice to see
Mary.
you. Yeah. In case you didn't know, Jeff, were you a monk in a prior life?
You talking in terms of like a vow of celibacy? In this life, it feels as if why do you? Oh, you mean the darkness, like with this, the vest, like this around me?
Yeah, maybe like a friar.
You know what?
Maybe you look like a friar, huh?
You know what this is supposed to be? This is supposed to cover up at least one of the fortunes I have.
Oh, yeah. There used to be a joke. There used to be a joke that I have more chins than a Chinese phone book, but now that's probably not politically correct. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the prevalence of the name has gone away, though.
That's very true.
That's just reality.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
No offense to anyone Chinese.
Yes, you can ask questions today. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Yes. And hello, Carolyn and Peter and Sonia. And look, Jeff's here. Hi, Samantha. It's good to see you too.
Hi, Book Bewitched. Did I scare you with my picture?
Hi, Martha. Lori Hunsinger's here. Oh, hi, Book. Oh, my goodness. It's like old home day. Ellen said, I would typecast you as a monk in dark robes. Ooh. Did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I found it too complicated just on the surface.
I've never played it myself, but yeah. Is it complicated? Yeah.
I heard it's complicated. It's more complicated than people think it is. And I never could do what is it, War?
Yeah.
Which was a board game, I think. That one's a tough one.
Oh, are you talking about the
Battleship
or yeah, but there was one that was all around the world and you had to try to get countries. Yeah. Is that the one?
Can't remember the name of it.
I couldn't do it either.
Your pick is haunted my every fit today. Hi, Jackie Jacaranda.
Yeah, hi, Jackie. Hi, Maya. Silent Victory. Oh, my goodness. Your picture has haunted my every. That's funny. Oh, you guys are a hoot. Honest to God. Thanks for being here. I hope everybody's A-okay. And not having too bad weather. I do know there is a bad weather warning, but not in Jeff's area in New England, but some of the higher elevations as well as Worcester and Western Mass. There's some problems. So, hi, Richie.
Hi, Richie.
Great to see you. Yeah. So I reached out to Jeff because I like his poetry. So, and I remember a poem I wrote. Not very much of it, maybe a stanza from high school. And so, I don't know that anybody on this show knows that much about astrology, but I do know April's going to be blown out of the sky.
What is it, April 9th for the eclipse?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Martha Bean says you look very handsome, Jeff. All right.
Good. It's always nice to hear.
It's always nice to hear, isn't it? Yeah. That's awesome. In New York City, you're having strong winds and rain. Be careful. I thought the wind was going to take my little dog away. And it's just cold, and it's like 45 degrees.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, just the wind is a bit much.
it makes our
So
blood thinner. Our blood, when it goes up and down like this, I know they say that it has nothing, no impact on catching colds and all that, and I believe that, but just the thinning of the blood and the thickening of the blood when we
yeah,
go through these warm spells, and as you get older too, I start to notice I'm colder now. I'm cold.
I understand. It's
Yeah.
my feet. My feet get cold. If my feet are cold, then I'm freezing for
Yeah.
some reason. Yeah. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. Okay, Sonia, I got your question. Florida's going through a wild storm. I think his name is DeSantis. He did the State of the State address today, is what I saw. Yes, Leah, sure. Okay, will do. So here's my poem, and I can't remember the rest of it right this minute, but I wrote it a sophomore year, so I was probably about 14. And that was a hell of a long time ago. So let's see. Far was the cry of anger, but close enough to be heard was the single breath of pity that rose without a word.
I love that.
It's kind of dark, but it's also kind of
You should send it back to me, and I'll fill in some blanks and add to it,
okay.
and I'll
Okay.
throw it back at you, and we'll
All right.
workshop
I'm
it.
going to find the rest of it because, yeah.
I
I
would
remember
too.
reading it. It was very deep at that time. And I read it to my parents, and they're like, okay. Nobody understood it. And I think it was before its time. And so
The
anyway,
style of it seems more probably with today's than less rigidity with what was
yes, that's
written
true.
then or what we
Yeah.
were
It
told was
doesn't have to
written
be
then.
roses are red, violets are blue.
Yeah, yeah, or,
Uh-huh.
the more flowery technique
Right.
that
Yeah.
was more embraced then,
Right.
as opposed to the
It was like stream of
earthier.
conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like stream of consciousness, I guess. Yeah. But you missed what his be? Don't watch to Satan. Oh, no, don't watch to Satan. All right. So before we start doing some readings, which we're really happy to do, Jeff did pick out a poem that he wants to read tonight.
Mhm.
So
All right.
yeah.
And this is gonna be in my next book, which is this year, everybody, by
Oh,
2
cool.
that are currently out, are
Mhm.
on, Amazon,
And I have both of them at
and they're
home.
both in the,
Yeah, they're nice.
let me pull this up. It's funny when you put things in your phone and you have different places. Like I have 40 poems right now for this next book so far, and
Oh,
I want to pull from it anything. The one I showed Aley this morning, and then I'm looking at them and I'm like, there's some other ones here that I kind of.
well, you can read whatever one you want. It's okay. I trust you. You're not going to tell us all to go kill ourselves or something.
No, that would be my first book. You've
Well,
read
yeah,
it.
but you were going through all that shit with your dad and all that. Yeah, that was hard. Yeah.
All right, this is called the fun I know.
Okay.
You're gone, and so is the fun I know. I kept you company, but was always party to the fun I know. I never had a reason not to show, even when you wanted to be alone. No RSVP required. You can be a no show, even in our own home. And no one has to be the wiser that you've been letting go. That's the fun I know. The years were kind, days drenched with wine, no regard for the time left behind, until within 3 sheets to the wind, what life itself had to offer was nothing without time. It wasn't your time to go, and that wasn't part of the fun I know. No more tastings to which to go. The only indulgence is to try to grow. You had to go, and this is the fun I know.
You know, except for the the topic, you sound an awful lot like, I mean, the poem has a Frostian tone to it.
Yeah, his name came into my mind as I was reading it. That's
And as
really
you read
weird.
it, I know you don't sound, he had a gravelly voice, but that's who I was seeing. I was seeing Frost. That's awesome. Oh my God. Wow. I love it. Leo wants to know if you're a Scorpio.
I like to consider myself a Taurus, but I'm actually an Aries.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
late term Aries in
Late term.
April. I'm a cusp. I was born at 11:05 at night on the 17th. So by all rights, it would have to stay in Aries, I think. Although I've heard some people say it can start on the 17th, but it really should be the 18th because I was born at 11:05 p.m. and I like the cusp of power, and that's what that sign is called. And someone asked me if I'm published on Amazon, or they're all on, as Aley told in the last chat, I think we did, they're all print on demand, and they're under Jeffrey Bailey, Some Good Writ, SMO, in the last WRIT, and then they're in the links below. Yeah.
Yep. There you go. So Froxy Roxy is also a poet. Did you know that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know there's something about poetry book that it's just so, it's concise. It's concise. It asks us to allow for that concise wording in order to paint a picture and so much more. So, wow.
Yeah. And that's what renders it so emotive over different pieces of time because of what you've gained from it. And that's how I feel about this whole 5D thing, because I think poetry is a form of channeling, and I feel as if the 5D is not something we're ascending, it's definitely something to do with time, because now you're hearing more about all these parallel time experiences that people are having in their sleep and whatever. So there's like the future past, and something may have been more prevalent to you at the time, but the lesson resounds better. Or if you look at it 5 years down the line, it renders that whole experience as something else. So
it sure does. Yeah. That's awesome. Froxy says, I've written some very dark poems, and if anyone reads them, they would think I was on the verge of suicide, but not so. There's something about, it's almost helpful. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I believe that sadness and things that aren't going so well make for beautiful poetry. It's almost,
I do.
Yeah.
And the challenge for me is to write the opposite, and I haven't been able to do it yet.
Okay.
And that even predates my father, because it, as you say, resoundingly, devastating experiences seem to have more weight as far as, and we've talked about this, as far as the language is concerned, but also like a well upon which you draw, because they have more that from which you can pull, it seems.
Absolutely. We can say that it's wonderful to express joy and wonder in poetry, but it's harder to sit down and really be able to do that sometimes. Whereas when you're miserable, it's like an outlet, It's like an outlet.
Yeah.
Now look, we've got another poet in the house. Thank you, Annie Bear.
Hi, Annie Bear. Hi.
Yeah, she's a wonderful poet, as is Heather. I didn't see her here yet, but Heather is a wonderful poet. I know you've done readings with her, haven't you?
Yeah. Annie Bear's good at the multimedia component of it too.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Incorporating different,
Hello to music. Hello, Mousy and Craig Dixon. Oh, what's this one? Jack Kerouac, popsicles, once sincere as trees. Or is it pop cycles? I think it must mean popsicles. Okay. Yeah, I remember it's the beats that um, Ginsberg had to do the beat poets for a class.
Moloch, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
I found his difficult. His sophomore year at Assumption and Worcester, they made us take. Well, they didn't make us. I took poetry,
Yeah.
contemporary American poetry, and I didn't. I don't. He doesn't resonate with me for some reason, and I don't. I found myself having to almost read them over and over again more than even Shakespeare because I
Sure.
couldn't get it.
Yeah.
The layering of what he was trying to do. Some people, use onomatopoeia or those different techniques where the wording or the recurring motif that is there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see them. I just didn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I there are certain ones that I just absolutely adore. I adore Walt Whitman, and I love Frost because I guess I'm from New Hampshire and I just got used to Frost, and I love a lot of what he does. But I also love Rumi and some of the other poets from the world poets. They touch my heart in a really nice way. But it's wonderful. I'm actually glad it seems to be coming back as an art form. And I'm seeing more poetry books on shelves than I have in the last 25 years. So
I am too,
nice.
and I'm trying to figure out what's accounting for that.
Yeah. Yep.
I think people want to feel on a more visceral level, and that's partly why with the change we're seeing. But
yeah,
yeah,
I get it. All right. Well, hello, Veronica. And let's see who else is here. Veronica, okay, I got your question. Our soul enjoys the discomfort of growth. Yeah. And some dark poems are emotional release. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And sadness makes you think more and deeper. Absolutely true. Wow. Got a lot of simpatico people here. Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and ideas. Book says she sees poetry as a luxury. She's a word phrase collector that creates visions. Well, yeah, we knew you love books, so I don't think you're really that picky, but that's good to know, Book. I'm the same way. Yeah.
I like that. My technique's like the opposite of that.
Okay.
Because I'll have the vision, but it's once I have the wordplay in place that things start to really jump. So, like if she's writing off, if Book Bewitched is writing off of a phraseology and all that, I'm in awe of that because that is surface level. That is actually more skill craft to me. It's more crafty.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's very true. There's a poem that I've heard. It's on Instagram or something, but it's about a dog. When I am gone, remember this and that about me, and how I used to come upstairs and this and that. Oh my God, I fall apart every single time I listen to it. It's beautifully written, but it's sad. It's like watching. Have you watched the movie Hachi?
Yes.
Yes, it's like watching that over and over again. You can't do it.
Hi, Tom. Tarot your ways here. Hi, Tom.
Oh, Tom, how are you? And Terry's here.
Yep.
All right. Emily Dickinson is fine. Because I would not stop for death, death stopped for me. Remember? There's that one. It's good to see you, Thomas. Hi, J Cat Lady. All right. So if art is the occupancy of space and music is the occupancy of time, what are the words of poetry? Ooh.
Eternity.
It could be eternity.
Because as I believe, with the syncopation with music, I can see why it would be the occupancy of time. And with the art as space, that comes down to form, translated into space, basically. But I think when a poem is written, it's coming from, as I said, one vision that you have that resonates one way now. Then there's no time continuum.
Right.
It's sort of transcending time because it's going to mean something else to somebody else in the beginning.
Oh, yes.
And then in the future, if we want to call it the future, it's still the same thing that you wrote at one particular moment, and it's a timeless rendering. So it's transcendent. And if there has to be something that we have to equate with time, even if time doesn't exist, it's a man-made.
Yeah.
It's eternity.
Right.
Yeah.
I do like this though. Spoken magic, and Terry says frequency. I would have probably answered it's the beat. It's the, in music when there's a space between the beats. That's kind of what I was thinking of. But I love all these.
And you make a valid point too. Sometimes the pauses and what you say in between things or what you don't say, it's, as Terry says, the space between when you're in meditation, that is the sort of climax of it between, time and space. And that's when you feel the best, even if it's for but a second. But that transcends time.
Transcends time. It does.
I still think it's about eternity.
That's all right. I love it. It's okay. Like philosophy, wonder if I did that before. I used to write poems a lot when I was in junior high. Use them to take them to creative writing classes at the college my brother and ex went to. Oh, wow. I don't know. There's something about being younger when you have no you don't have any real criticism of what you write that makes it more freeing for some reason. But I think it's wonderful. Yes, writing is freeing. Yes, very much so. So there you go. Leah likes your explanation. Very good.
Oh my God. Thank you, Leah.
Yeah. Yeah. It sets the tone. Wow. Okay. So we've got 7 questions and we've got about 40 minutes.
Beautiful.
So let's see what we can bring up. And if you know anything about Sonia, she loves the elementals. And she wants to know about the elementals. All right. And I had to choose which cards to bring because I'm going to be up here like a week, at least for now, because they keep changing the date they're going to fix my cable. Anyway, I pulled the nature cards, the Gaia cards. I must have known you were going to be here.
I went right. I was hoping to draw right from the regular tarot, and it was the first deck because I got these, you guys, because I was losing some of my deck. I want something to put against the wall for all of them, but in the meantime, I have just the casing. So I pulled the standard tarot. So
that's all right.
I'm pretty happy because that's the one I wanted.
That's the one you wanted. There you go. There are no mistakes. So there you go. All right. What do we got? Ooh. All right. Sonia, the first one I get is amethyst. And I mean, it's one of my very favorite stones anyway. But it says transformation, certainty, and confidence are coming to you. Oh, you can't see it. All right. I'll go ahead and change my background setting. Just don't, remember, I'm with my husband. And he's the one that makes a mess. I have all shirts and all kinds of stuff here. All right. All right. So hopefully you can see that. Amethyst. There you go. The next one I get is Sacred Heart, passion, love, and spiritual communion. So I really believe these go hand in hand. You've got transformation and spiritual communion and confidence. So they're saying that your path going forward is really well indicated.
Yeah.
And you got the beautiful fiery heart. Look at that. It's gorgeous. And the last one I get is thinking of you, a loving thought and serendipity. So there you go. How beautiful. All right, Jeff.
What I got firstly is the world card.
Oh boy.
And to me, there was optimism in this because the world is at your feet, but it's almost as if you see a bounty of different paths down which you can go, not knowing in the midst of sort of the everyday grind or material world in which we live, which one is going to be for you. This came in reversed, which meant to me, usually you're because if you look upright, he's tentative. He's got 1 foot. Well, you can't really see it. He's got 1 foot outside of the estate he's on and 1 foot back. He in the card before it is, is very much aware of holding the world in his hand, kind of like what's going on here. So for you, among all that verbose nonsense I just spouted, it's about it's about not waiting, but also being grounded enough to know that you don't have to fear exploration. And then I got, and this comes back to what Aley had about the promise, the Empress. So you're pregnant. There's like it's like a double-edged sword. You're looking down so many paths that because you have so much ability spiritually, that you don't know which one in which to hone, either in this life to be the most potent version of you. That's what I'm getting from this. But you're pregnant with so much possibility.
Just as long as she's not pregnant, she'll be fine.
Yeah. And
you tell a woman she's pregnant. Bad. Oh my God, yeah. Unless you want to be, Sonia, but I don't think so. All right. Thank you, dear. Thank you. All right. So we've got Leah. Will you pull a card for my chakra work? Something to focus on. All right. Let's see what we get.
Okay, I got the Ace of Swords here. And I'm feeling the more cerebral chakra, the one above your head, obviously, because it's about the brain, so it's cerebral. You see how the crown is there on top of what's being brought in, because swords are all about truth. I think you have to look, and what I'm saying is because this is the top chakra that is the one about it, more enlightenment than the ones that preceded it. I always do this. I look and see when I'm meditating in a different environment from Terry's, but nonetheless, when I meditate in this environment, I'm looking to see how the chakras are moving. If they're moving clockwise, and this is going to sound, again, ridiculous to some of you, then I know they're in the right direction. So you just want to make sure that the ones are lining straight based to what you want from those chakras. Meaning if there's one really that you feel you have to work on, or multiple ones, try to envision it as the one that's the most conducive to positive thoughts for you, because I feel like that's something maybe you might struggle with. I don't know. That's just what I got.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I got this beautiful chalice here. It says longing. It says drinking, thirsty, and alcohol, but I don't, I'm not getting that out of it. I'm getting, you have a longing here. And you've denied yourself something on a quest, holy grail, pleasure. So you've denied you something for a long time, and now it's time for you to enjoy it. I think that's what the thing is. It's like when we have a toast and we tip the two cups together and clink them and we move on. It isn't necessarily, getting S-faced and falling on the ground or anything. But the chalice is a beautiful symbol also because it's very spiritual. And it was, Knights of the Round Table, and, very beautiful within the Joseph of Arimathea and some of the King Arthur stuff. And then I get, it's okay to have a voice and speak your truth. And so maybe some people, it takes a little bit of time to loosen your lips. And so having a drink, you feel more comfortable saying what it is you want to say. But you're asking for chakra work. And I'm thinking to myself that you need to work on the throat chakra, because that's what I'm getting as far as speaking up for yourself, and also feeling though you're not getting what you want. So you have to speak up and not only ask for what you want, but tell people what you want, because they can't read your mind. So that's what I get. All right, sounds good. Hi, Rose Blue. All
The rose
right.
blue.
Okay. With love, Leah. With love. Yes. It is art. Yeah. Ellen had an interview yesterday. Is the job a good fit for her? Will she get the job offer? Do you like it, Ellen? Was it a good interview? Sometimes I made a mistake. I remember one time I had this job. It was okay, but it wasn't getting me anywhere, and I wasn't really feeling it. And so I applied for this other job, and I got the job, and I left the job I was doing, and I went over to that job, and I hated it so much. It was horrible. My manager was a jerk. I got yelled at all the time. They expected me to, I went back and asked for my old job back because I just didn't need the hassle, But sometimes you don't know until you take the leap. So let's see what we got. Ooh, not bad cards here. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hi, Hershey. I'll go first. I'm not really sold on, well, the energy of the question and the way that Aley asked you, is it something you want? Is it something I'm feeling like they're going to make the offer, but I don't think you want it. I feel as if, because can be an offer card, but it can also be apathy. And then I got the Eight of Swords, or the Eight of Wands.
Messages. Yeah.
So, and this is messages, yes, but when it's stagnance, you'd be stagnant in this position. I feel. And then I got the King of Cups reversed. So I almost feel like there's a connection to creativity that you have an affinity to, but it wouldn't be fulfilled in this position. I mean, in political readings, obviously, collectively, we know this is Biden, but upside down in a personal reading, I just see it as someone who's stifling your creativity, and maybe you're taking a job out of, and that's fine. I'm not,
or it could be a potential boss.
Right.
Boss.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to take it out of necessity and see if it's going to work for you. But I'm not really feeling like it's the best fit for you.
So, Ellen, I have wonder if you have a job right now and you would leave it to go to this job, or you don't have a job at all. If that was the case, you could always try out the job. If you didn't have a job, then you weren't quitting anything, and see if you liked it. But if you have a job, it's hard to leave a job unless you have a job. I get 3 people. I don't know who those 3 people are, but it says there's a third party, and there could be either external factors. So let me give you an example. They had posted the job because they had to post the job. That's their company policy, but they really already have decided they're going to give it to so-and-so in this department, but they had to open it up and offer it. I don't know if that's even the case, but I'm seeing 3 people, maybe the person that interviewed you and someone else. But I do see finances kind of going really haywire, career focused and managing finances. It could be that it's a good paying job. I remember asking my freshman, which is a funny thing to do, my freshman in college, which would you rather have, a job that you really loved but you didn't get paid as much for, or a job you absolutely hated and got paid all kinds of money? And the younger they were, they didn't really care. They just wanted the money. But the older they were, they said, oh God, no, I don't care how much I've got to be happy what I'm doing. So I'm just going to throw that out, because magic surrounds you. And that might tell me that there might be something else, like Jeff said, something else that might be around the corner. Yeah, because you can make magic, Ellen. So I don't think we helped you.
Yeah, we had some conflicting messages on that one.
We did. Yeah.
But not in the end, I
yeah.
don't think.
Okay, so the job would pay well. Where is it? Okay, so I thought the interview went well. And then I think she said the job, oh, it's a necessity. It's not a necessity. You have a job now. Okay. So, yeah. And the job would pay well, better than where you are. So you're going to have to you're going to have to see whether, and since you're asking if they were going to make you an offer, of course you would be able to ask the questions before you started. So I would just say, I would do that if I were you. Yeah. To see if it's really the best deal for you. Hi, Sally. Okay. Don't we sound wishy-washy? It's funny because the energies are so horrible. I mean, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here or anything, but it's like everybody's going through something, and they don't either feel good, or just things aren't working out the way they should be. And astrologically, I was told that it would be a good idea to wait until the 20th before you make too many decisions. There's something coming up then. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Jeff says, but I'm tired of doing the insurance.
Yeah, I think if it like calmed down, like we're starting to get those ebbs and flows now, but once March or April hit and I start getting the personal time during the summer, which I get,
right,
then
then you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It's like me with fall term. Fall term is hell.
Oh, that's hell. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. 14 classes. That's too much for God.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. So Silent Victory would like a message. All right, Silent Victory. I'm just guessing that you want just whatever the cards say. Right. What do we got for you? Ooh. Okay.
I got the Hangman, and I'm just going to say, even if you throw it upright and it means a delay, or if you throw it up like this and it means looking at things from a new perspective, you're kind of torn. So my message to you would be, don't hurry the harvest, because I think once you step back and look at the bigger picture, it's going to work out for you. And I don't know what that thing is, but
yeah. Wow. All right. So I get some good cards here. I get peace. You're wanting peace. Peace surrounds you. You just have to remember that. What I have told everybody with regard to the word peace, it's always smart to ask for peace of mind. Do not ask for patience, because they like to make you wait. So just ask for peace of mind. It will give you the confidence you need to wait, because there you are waiting. Looks like you're almost laying back and happy with your face to the sun. But they also want you to remember that you need to keep your boundaries. Don't let anybody walk all over you. Or, if somebody keeps saying, I need your help doing this, or do you have $50, or whatever it is, just say no. It's okay to say no. It really, really is. We feel badly when we do, but it's okay. whatever it is. You can set your own boundaries. Nobody is responsible for anybody else. So there you go. Yeah. Hi, Kiba. Nice to see you. All right. So we've got Seascape. Do my guides have any messages I need to know about my remaining days at work before I retire? Have a big party. Now I sound like a New Englander. Have a party. Have some beer and lobster. Wow, I'm excited for you, dear.
You want me to go first?
You may.
Okay. I draw 3 cards. I drew this one upside down, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The 8 of Pentacles. To me, this is like doing time or making it. When I first see it, it's like doing time or repetitive work or doing work for a long time or doing work, which makes sense given that you're retiring or having, done work that is, grueling, like making license plates or whatever. I feel as if the first thing that came into my head was nervous apprehension because there's part of me that feels as if you don't know what you're going to do. And with this reversed, I'm getting a sense that you want to do something in time that means a lot, but means a lot shouldn't, because you've got it all within you, Seascape. It's already there. You don't need, this is rebellion to me. If this card comes in reverse, it's rebellion against everything maybe that you've done previously. And I'm almost feeling like you want to take up something, maybe either go into business or do something to further a business or further a vocation or further a skill or something. But it's not run of the mill, or you feel as if at this juncture in your life, you shouldn't do it, but you can make it happen. Okay? That's what I'm getting.
That's beautiful. All right. I too pulled 3 cards from 3 different decks just because I wanted to be that way. The first one I get is Sun. Keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. Ooh, can't hardly see that. I love that. It's like when we have sun on our face, we don't think about the dark times. We're just moving ahead, moving into the light. So I think, Jeff was right when he said, it's almost like I'm so excited, but then yikes, I don't that's the way I feel.
A message from my guides that said nervous apprehension, but it was positive.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, what can I do? There's so much to do. You're absolutely right, Jeff. And this will be very healing for you, Seascape, because you get to figure out what you want to do. And nobody can tell you what to do. You don't have to punch a time clock anymore. You don't have to call and say, oh, I can't come in today. It doesn't matter. And so you can write your own ticket. And then I get this one. There are many doors that lead to the place where you truly belong.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. They're one after another. And you're going to find where you already belong here, but you're going to find where you belong if you want to belong to something else. If you want to work. Some people, they'll take off a couple, and this may not be you, and that's fine, but they take off a couple months or maybe a year or so, and then they're bored. And so they find something that would take up their time. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Congratulations, Seascape.
Yes, congratulations. That's fabulous. Oh, Sagita, your sister has an addiction. What can I help her? The problem, Sagita, is that you can't really help her unless she decides to help herself. We'll pull some cards here, but
Yeah, and I want to say something before I pull cards. I heard in just now peace and mind, and then I heard peace of mind, and then I heard peace of my mind. So I feel like one of you's angry at the other and wants to let it be known. And I think it's you, Sagita, who instead of tough love, or instead of no love, or instead of soft love, or being too genteel about it, you're in a situation where you don't know how to best go about it. But let me draw some cards on it.
Yeah. Jeff has gone through some issues in his life, and I have gone through some issues in my life where I've had somebody that I cared about a great deal, and they're they have addiction issues. Unfortunately, this person is younger. He's probably about, 44 years old, and has been drinking since he was 14. And it will never change. And I had to come to the realization that there wasn't much I could do because he didn't want to help himself. Yeah. So let's see what I got. Look for the signs that will guide you to the destiny that you have known all along. So if this person wants help, I would help. Or you could even go to Al-Anon or whatever addiction. If it's drug addiction, you could go to Narcanon. I don't know the name of it, but you can go there to learn how to deal with people with that problem. You're the rare flower that blooms in the dark. Keep growing. So you've got to take care of yourself, Sagita. You're the only one that can do that. And no matter what happens with your sister. And an eclipse may hide your light, but not forever. So, and I sort of see that this is sort of covering up and overshadowing the way you feel. And I can understand why that would be. It's very hard to watch someone that you love in the throes of addiction. But, quite honestly, and it's so sad. It's like you can't make people do anything about their addiction problems unless they want to.
I got 3 cards, and they're all cups.
Oh,
And
emotions,
cups,
right?
Cups and drinking and whatnot. Hi, Fatima. The first one I got was this one, which was the 7. I feel like obviously with addiction, it stands to reason that different approaches have been tried with her, and none have taken for the long haul. And yet, by the same token, too, she's fooled herself and tried to fool you into thinking she's gotten well, and she hasn't. But the only one in reality she's deceiving is herself.
Right.
Then I got, and this is the nostalgia card upright. The 6 of swords, or the
Yeah.
6 of cups. I feel like this is impacting you almost, if not more, to your mental health, like, because she's come to you and either asked for money for alcohol, or even on a greater scale, she's done things that are impacting those you love, or in the past has done that, or may have had a role in some childhood trauma you had. And then I got the Page of Cups with the stinky fish. I kind of feel like you're at wit's end, and you feel like there's nothing that can be done. And you're trying to tell yourself that you need the peace of mind instead of giving her the peace of your mind. So don't take her SHIT, her shit.
Right.
Because she's going to sell you a bill of goods if you go to her. I think it has to come from within her.
Yeah. Yep. And Hershey says they have to want the help or they will relapse. Oh yeah, that's so true. And most of them don't want the help. But Thomas has had more issues than National Geographic. Sometimes laughing is a way of breaking that, that horrible thing that, yeah. Thank you. I certainly send a lot of love out to you, Sagita, and I send a prayer out for the best, highest good and outcome for your sister and you. So
I send one out to both of you as well.
thank you.
That's hard.
It is hard.
It's very hard.
So Veronica says, may I ask, when finances get better, I think it's, will people's, will there, some of the problems that they're having go away because there's not enough to go around right now? Because she says when finances improve, lots of issues happening at once. And you know that it's like, what do I decide to pay? And what do I decide to wait for? And yeah, so you really, I don't know that we can give you a time frame, unfortunately, but I think if I remember correctly, Veronica, your husband is in sales. And so part of his pay must be tied to commissions. We just had Christmas and people don't want to buy like life insurance or, anything that they don't need right now. But it usually picks up, a lot of times it picks up later on in the spring. So let's see. Ooh. I like the first card I get, Veronica. I get the egg, which is fertility. And what is fertility? It's things, becoming more manifest for you. There's a potential, and it says, hang on there, the change is around the corner. It's been proven that a lot of people will give up on a job, and I'm not saying your husband's going to do that, but they'll give up. They'll think, I can't make it. And the minute they leave, people start calling and asking for that person. All that work that person has done, was coming to fruition. You have to be a little bit vigilant when you're deciding what to pay, because it says here, you're rebuilding from the ashes, basically. And, when you're starting and you don't have a lot of income coming in. But we got a little bit of fun here. I see here, I love the nightlife. I like to boogie at the disco. That there'll be some freedom coming and fun times coming. And so I'm seeing this ending and you having fun times again. Don't be fatalistic in thinking that you'll never going to have this happen again, because it will. Everything's cyclic. It comes in cycles.
The thing that I heard was, when I heard the question, when and where, when and how, or when and something, like not knowing if the when is more important than the what. Like, what should I pay first or when? Because I got this, and this came in first. I got this reversed, which means you've had so many sleepless nights about where things are going to go. And yet, by the same token, too, the promise of even a little bit of money, of even a short windfall, is what I'm hearing. You still don't know where to start with it. So I'm hearing Aley's message of being judicious, because with the money, that word came in too, because I got temperance. So
yep.
It's weird because and this is just a little micro. I get paid every 2 weeks. And I have had jobs my whole life where I got paid every week. So it's harder to
make it stretch.
When you get a bigger one, and I'm like that too, where my expenses are right now limited, and yet I find that situation, as Aley pointed out, it's coming back around where they're becoming more of them. So if you can be as judicious as you can, is what I'm getting from this, do it. Because in the middle with the Page of Pentacles, the promise or the mere notion of it, it's like a little kid with his allowance. Don't do it. Don't do it. The temptation's there, but don't do it.
Temptation's there. So My husband started a practice, a chiropractic office practice in 2021 in November. And I knew it was going to take about 5 years really to get up and running, because insurance pays nothing and they take forever. And so it was like a year before we got any kind of money at all. We were just scraping by, and I was giving him money from my paycheck. It was really difficult. Things are getting better now, but still it's only been really 2.5 years. But then he'll probably get so busy, he'll have to back off and won't be able to do all the ones that he was doing, because that happens. And when people, get along better as they go along, that doesn't help you right now. And I think you have a family, so I certainly wish him well. And let's say money makes the world go round. There you go. You're welcome. All right. So I don't know. We can do one of two things. Well, why don't we do both? Jeff, I want you to read one more poem, if you would, and then we'll do a reading for the collective. How about that? I would like to do that.
Okay. All right. This is the one I sent you. It's called Ghost Me.
Yes.
Ghost me, left wondering about all the things you never said. The kiss goodbye, your spirit failed to romanticize. What you knew and for how long, before you knew it, it would go all wrong. You shouldn't keep promises for 2 lifetimes if one of them's mine. If through the rest of mine, I'll never know why you broke them. To keep me in the dark defeats the purpose, when you always feared I'd be alone and left behind. And if what messages you intend for me to receive, you still seem too scared to tell me, you made me a believer in the abnormal. Ghost me and leave me. Even if I can't see you, you weigh heavy on my mind through our telepathy that reaches your detached adult son's mind. Only I can conjure such a burden, and it's only me your prankster spirit deceives.
Wow, that had lots of layers in it. Beautiful.
I like the wordplay, and I like the idea of ghosting, and I like the metaphysics.
And the 2 lifetimes, and one of them was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's wonderful. Just beautiful. Book says it's pink and blue light outside. The light floods my living room. Oh, how beautiful.
Poetic right there.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah. All right, Jeff, let's see what we can come up with. So today I listened actually to the appellate court judge, circuit court argument about being above the law. The attorney for the former guy, his voice was so awful. He had this voice that was really, really awful. It was hard to listen to. But the question of, would you say that it would be okay for you to send the SEAL Team 6 in to kill one of your campaign rivals or one of your enemies? That was the question that the judge asked his attorney. And he said, well, yeah, as if only if he was impeached but if he wasn't impeached, no. So
it sounds as if they've got it all, how they're going to respond to the most absurd questions with absurd answers.
That's right.
In return, because as you go along, this gets more and more and more.
It gets more and more bizarre every day.
I feel as if it is. And I also feel like the line, like when I'm reading the articles, Aley, I have to I go back, because I don't know if it's like yes is no and no is yes, and they ruled in the affirmative or they ruled in the negative, because you know what I'm saying? It's also the whole context is so blurred.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes, it does, because remember the
Senate.
Senate said they didn't want to vote to impeach Trump because the courts would take it up after he was out of office. Well, now they're saying, well, because he didn't get impeached by the Senate, that the court should never take it up because they didn't. It's like, let's play two kinds of shit against the middle. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, and this is the dance that he wants to go on, ad infinitum. So
yeah. Yep, absolutely. January Roman, loved your last poem. Thank you.
Thank you, January Roman.
Thomas, you're wonderful. Whiskey soaked smoker of 15 years. Yep, that would be the kind of person that who would choose. All right, let's try to infuse some positive if we can. All right. Ooh, these are all in the now. In the now, in the now. First one, listen to your inner compass. You're the one with the intuition. Trust and believe that your gut is telling you what you need to hear. The second one, celebrate the little things in everyday life. Don't save the china and the silver for a special occasion. Just living is a special occasion. And it's okay to have a voice and speak your truth, which this card was pulled earlier this evening. It's okay. Sometimes we're afraid if we say something, people will misinterpret. You have the right to your feelings, and your ideas and your voice and your truth are just as important as everyone else's. Thank you.
It's weird because this could be read politically or this could be read collectively. King of Wands reversed. That inspiration or that motivation or that impetus you have to do something. Don't be afraid. Have hope. Go be the fool and live out your life. Or King of Wands reversed. Any MAGA Republican or Donald Trump who still wants to be the star and has his hopes pinned on the White House. And I see these as like pins up here, like pinning what do you
push
want?
Pins. Yeah.
Push pins. Or whatever. Yeah. And ultimately he'll be rendered a fool. I mean, he's still the fool, but he's going to traipse along. Yeah. I wish it had been reversed though, to be more accurate, but
I agree. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. And Book, I would love to just hang out and chat. Let's do that one night. We'll just sit here and do that. I've got at 6:00, I have a dreams, visions, and appearances with my panel. And we got a special guest tonight. But I had a really good time as always, Jeff. And I love your poems. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll do it again.
And hit the like button on my page too, everybody, please.
That's right. Please like and subscribe.
Let me leverage that content to get new viewers. I would love
that. Do you have something coming up that you want to speak about?
Yes. Okay. I have it on my page in a video. It's called psychoteropathy. If you've been familiar with those politologies and the other things that they're doing, this is like psychotherapy through tarot cards combined with that Rorschach ink blot test, where what you see, and then I throw some poetry in the mix. So you're getting a reading and a psych reading, and you're getting a self-diagnosis
with a caveat that it's entertainment. That's right.
So yes.
Oh, it does sound. Hi, Diana. It does sound interesting. That's awesome. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Yeah, Jeff, you knocked Book out. There you go.
Thank you, Book Bewitched. And don't be afraid of my picture because it's going away now. You won't see it again.
We'll see you later. Thanks for coming by and spending time with us. Bye-bye.
Bye.